Welcome to my instructional design project. My name is Holly Weaver, and this is about a first grade data lesson that I did. With this lesson, I really focused on the data unit that we've been using with the standards from the Michigan Education website and how I use it in my own classroom. Now, to start, I am going to talk about my teaching style and the information for my own classroom. I have 23 students in my classroom. I teach in an upper middle class school district, and we do a very community-based classroom. That is my teaching style. We make sure that we all participate and we all work together, and we use the growth mindset ideas that if we make mistakes, that we fix them, which leads to my compacting style of teaching. This means that I teach the lesson or the mini lesson that I do on the carpet, and every student has a whiteboard and a marker, and this is a good way of formative assessing because I will ask questions, and if the students already know the answer and I see that they are doing this multiple times with the formative assessment, I send them back to their seats and they do independent work, and from there they work on challenges. Now, if they are struggling with this, they stay on the carpet to get more small group or even one-on-one attention from me so they are understanding the concepts. And this seems to work because this is differentiating the curriculum, differentiating what they're supposed to be doing, and it's also giving my higher kids challenges and giving my lower kids time to work with me one-on-one. And the students that are struggling, we all know we struggle in different things, and the students are not embarrassed by the fact that they're working with me, nor are the students that need to ask for extra assistance know that every day they're going to be there because there's always different kids. Now, in my district, we use standard-based grading, which means that we find the standards from the state, and students need to be showing an 80% level of mastery. They're considered a level 4, which means they've got the standard and they are at end of the year expectations. So all of our objectives and standards are tested, and if they are 4, they're at the end of the year. If they're 3, they're grasping the concept. 2 is they need work, and 1 is they don't understand the concept. So we take each standard and objective and test on that. Now, the objectives for this unit that I was working on is about the categorical data, and students will be able to distinguish the amount provided for tally marks 80% of the time, and that is by the Unit 7 assessment. Students are going to be able to compare categorical data, and that's for the Unit 7 assessment as well. Students will organize their data when given figures 80% of the time, and students are going to be able to collect their own data, and that's the Unit 7 assessment. It's also going to be used by their performance assessment that we do at the end. Now that I've said before that we use a lot of formative assessments in my teaching style, but we also use a lot of assessments to test how the students are doing. We do 2 quick quizzes, and those both test the tally marks and how to count them, but it also tests the how we're collecting our data. We do a unit test, which is to decipher if the students can use the data chart, how to count and use the categorical data for that way, and the performance data is if they can find their own data and use it on their own. Now, as for the learning activities, we have quite a few activities. Each day they're going to be on the carpet with me doing compacting, which is the formative assessments and working with me. Students will also be doing independent work for each day so they can make sure that they can count data. Students will also be doing class data sets where they will have Oreos and Chips Ahoy cookies. Students will be able to test the cookies and figure out which they like, and we make our own tally sheets on a data sheet so the students can see how to count data and who won and how to organize their data based on that. Students are going to be working on how to count by 1s, 5s, and 10s with their independent differentiated work. Now the schedule is laid out pretty simply. It's introducing data, organizing it using stair steps, data sets, collecting data, tallies, practicing with data, and assessment days, and making their own data. And that can be changed due to if your students need more work or if they're really getting the concept, or the lovely snow days that we keep getting in Michigan. And that is a wrap on my instructional unit for data.